Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Tech. This month I'll finish off my visit to CES and all the age tech related items that I saw. The Consumer Electronics Show is a great event and I can't wait to go next year. I'm also going to talk with Gary Russell. He is a local resident and the president of Live Smart Tech. You may have seen him on this day. He is also teaching classes in the PC Club regarding smart home technology. So we'll discuss what it means by a smart home. So we'll be right back.
Caring for your health shouldn't be dictated by what you can afford. At MVS, we are a family-owned business that has provided quality healthcare products for seniors in their homes for over 30 years. We negotiate on your behalf with top manufacturers to deliver low prices. We provide vital resources while staying committed to making the experience of getting medical supplies you need as easy as possible by ensuring easy online shopping and free shipping. When life is difficult, we make things simple.
Well, welcome to Let's Talk Tech, and I'm Debbie, and today with me I have Gary Russell, and he's a resident of Laguna Woods, and you may have seen him already on this day, but he is the president of Live Smart Technologies, and he's also teaching at the PC Club. So if you're like what you hear today or you need to know more, just check the PC Club schedule for next time Gary's speaking. So he's a longtime engineer. He has been in the consumer electronics industry, and he specializes in what we call a smart home. And so we're going to be talking about that in detail today on our show. So thank you, Gary, for joining me.
Great to be here, Debbie. Thank you.
So you've been to CES like I went this year and just found it to be very fascinating. You know, some of the things from the smart home perspective would definitely, I attended Samsung's Health House, which had a lot of smart home technology in it. And, you know, we throw around these terms, smart TV, smart home. What in a nutshell does that mean? What is a smart home?
Well, if we go by the Wikipedia definition, it is devices which can be monitored and controlled via radio signals. Okay, but that's a little techie. But to think about it is that it connects you with your home, and it does give you the ability to put devices on automated schedules as well as command and control them, I like to say, over the internet. So things like your locks and your light switches and your thermostats and your shades. But it's really quite vast and expansive with all the devices that are coming out that are now sort of smart enabled. And so it is a deep sea of connected home type of capability.
So like in an ordinary, just say you were in Laguna Woods in an ordinary house, what type of things would you start with if you wanted to have a smart home? What would be like the simplest thing?
I think the simplest thing and maybe the most useful would be a digital door lock. You never have to carry keys. You just enter a 4-digit code. You can have multiple codes, one for each family member. You can have a guest one for the cleaners or for a contractor, a different code maybe for family members. Next to the digital locks, which I think have very high utility, I would recommend a thermostat, a smart thermostat that you can control the temperature while you're away from your home, so that if it's wintertime and it's cold, you can keep it low, but as you get close, you can warm it up. Conversely, in the heat of summer, you can save energy by not putting the air on until you're almost home and then kicking on the air conditioner and setting it right.
But in order to use that, you would have to have like a central system, because some of our units don't have that yet. I mean, most of the remodeled units have centralized air and heat, but some of the older units still don't have that. But so I want to make sure the audience understands that
Gotcha.
You would need a central system to do that. I feel like with the way that we're going with energy saving, to me, that would be one of my first choices to use would be the smart thermostat, because that's really something, everybody's looking at their bills going up. From a next perspective, would something like your Wi-Fi connected lights, would that be part of a smart home system?
It can, but just a reminder that Wi-Fi, although some devices are enabled smart through Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi wasn't sort of built for a smart home per se. There are better protocols. That said, if you're only going to get one or two devices, Wi-Fi is probably okay. But there are other protocols that are better for home automation. But absolutely, lights fall in that category of energy savings, where you can keep the lights at a level that you want when you're not there, which may be off, but it may be sort of at a dim level to make it look like someone's home, or just to light it up for when you're getting close. And then also enable you to change them when you're in the home from anywhere. So you could have a light that is outside at the garage, let's say, or on the outside patio, but you can control that light from anywhere, including your nightstand at the bedside. So you do not have to physically be near the switch.
What about, so I was just, while you were talking, I was thinking about, I used to have a little Wi-Fi camera, a video camera in my unit, so that when I wasn't there, I could actually go on an app on my phone, and look at, making sure everything was okay,
Right.
inside. And also, even when sometimes I would bring the cat, that I would be gone and I'd want to make sure the cat was okay, and I'd speak to him over the camera. So would something like Ring doorbells or Wi-Fi type cameras also fall in this?
There are, yeah, you're spot on, Debbie. There are many. Ring was the first to come out with a doorbell camera specifically for the doorbell, and then they branched out and did other kinds of Wi-Fi cameras as well, floodlight cameras, as well as those that just sort of sit on the table. Since then, many manufacturers have come out with similar devices that are Wi-Fi cameras that allow for two-way talk. And some of those manufacturers have also come up with sort of a copy of the Ring doorbell. So it's the same concept
Right.
that
I was
alerts
an
you.
early adopter of a Ring type doorbell. It wasn't Ring brand. I never could get it connected properly, and so I ended up having them take it out and put in an old fashioned ding dong.
There you go. The first
But
ones weren't very good. They're a lot better now.
yeah, they're a lot better now. This was probably 10 years, 12 years ago at least, when they first, because I'm an early adopter of technology, so of course I had to have one.
Right.
Um, so, there's a lot of talk about the Internet of Things, and I talked about it on a previous show. And one of the things that I think of when I think about a smart home does have to do with the Internet of Things and just the interconnectivity of all the different devices that we have. But a lot of our residents may also have age tech in their homes, maybe either even just as simple as a Zoom tele-doctor visit, but to devices that are connected. So from that perspective, what would you feel that a resident, what would be like a big benefit to them from a technology health perspective? What have you seen so far?
Well, you hit it with the telemedicine aspects and things like heart monitors, which are, connected to you and the internet, and allow your physicians to sense if there's irregular heartbeats and so forth. There's also fall detection that are out there that are very helpful and not new, but they're just getting better and better. The health aspect of what we do goes a little bit beyond that and picks up gas leakage, gas sensors that can let you know if a stove has been left on, or if there's any smoke or carbon dioxide or monoxide, which you may not be able to see or even smell, but it's there. And it has a, a smart chip in it, those sensors that can alert you, flash the lights, sound a chime, send a text message, and also water and leak detection, which really gets into expense probably, but could also be a health hazard as well. So these are the add-ons that sort of are the crossover between a smart home and the Internet of Things telemedicine, so to speak. And the Internet of Things covers all of that.
So just for like a resident who would want to get started with this and has an interest in it, what should they look for in their home that would make them want to create a smart home? And I'm not talking about just the devices in themselves. I'm talking about a centralized location that they could control their smart home from. Is that an app? Is that a website? Is it something visual?
Yes, it is. In all three of those cases, when I teach the class, I say there are three types of controllers. Let's go through them. One is a physical button that acts as a scene controller, and by pressing different buttons, you make different things happen. So that can be in the wall, it can be on a table, whatever's most convenient for you, but it's a place you always know where to go to hit this button or that button and make things happen. The second thing is like an iPad, and you can either have an iPad installed like in the wall, or you can put it on an iPad stand, and that will have an app on it that will be your sort of command and control center. And from there, you could control, lights and thermostat, etc. The third way is just with a voice controller like Alexa. Now, that one is very nice for voice control, but it takes a little bit more of a setup to get that working right, because it's really an overlay on top of the basic smart home system. So first, you have to have a good smart home system. Then you have Alexa over the top of that to enable it by voice. So depending on the type of person you are, you have three choices available as to how to do the controlling.
Well, and that gets back to the ease of use, because one of the things that, with technology of any type is the ease of use, and things have gotten easier to use. But I even remember back when in my corporate days where I was in a classroom where we would put a controller in a wall and it would just have a few buttons and the teacher would come in and not understand it at all. So I know the audience is wondering how to make it simple for them. So the option of having the three ways is of great value. When you're teaching the class, like what do you open? Like, I know the class is an hour long, right? Is that right? An hour?
It's between 1 and 2 hours. Today we ran about an hour and a half.
Okay. And so from there, you're you're going over what a smart home is, how to set it up, and what else do you discuss during the class, just in the nutshell?
It's kind of fun because I start out the class with an 11-minute video that goes back to Westinghouse in the 1950s. And I made up a name for it called Back to the Future. And it's available on YouTube. And for anyone interested, we'll get you the link. But it is just a fun video that sets the stage for what they called back then as the total electric home. And it is amazing how visionary they were and how much they got right. But it took about 50 years to get there. From there, we launch into what is a smart home, just in general, with some basic definitions. We go into the categories of security, saving money and energy savings, health and safety, and then the convenience and fun aspect of it, with peace of mind as well. And then I talk to folks about where they can acquire it, what are the different kinds, what are the pros and cons, how to do it yourself or how to get help installing it if you wish. And then we end with a little bit about cyber, just because you kind of need to, but it's all the basic stuff of just strong usernames and passwords. But it's at
Right.
that point where we can address people's concerns about being hacked and so forth.
All right, well, that sounds really great. And just to wrap this up, I want to again reiterate that Gary lives in Laguna Woods in the community, and he's readily available to talk to you. And if this is an interesting topic to you, I really do say go take the class. The PC Club classes are free. And, if you want to give them a donation, that just helps them keep the workshop and the education center open. But Gary, thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted just to let the audience know what a smart home was, because we keep throwing around these terms and, and everybody just goes, well, what does that really mean? So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Good to be with you. Thank you.
Hoarding is a complicated subject, but it's something that can quickly become dangerous. Stockpiling items like newspapers, clothes, receipts, or more become unmanageable amounts of clutter, which develops into health and safety risks. The clutter becomes unsanitary and often full of flammable objects. If you or someone you know might be struggling with a hoarding disorder, contact Laguna Woods Village Social Services. Help keep your community safe and healthy by disposing of unwanted, unused, and unnecessary items.
Well, welcome back. As I just mentioned, I was fortunate to attend CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. This is one of the largest events highlighting consumer technology with 135,000 attendees in 2024. This conference has been held for over 40 years, and for someone like me, it was like a visit to Disneyland. I could only see a small fraction of the phenomenal products that were there to improve our lives. So if you're still suffering from hot flashes or know someone who is, a new AI product is on the horizon from Amira called the Terra system, which includes a wearable bracelet, a mattress pad, and an app. So the bracelet uses multiple sensors to track your body's natural rhythms. And AI jumps in and predicts the hot flash before it even starts. And then a cooling mattress pad cools you down almost 15 degrees almost instantly during your sleep. So using this method allows you to have less disruption while you're sleeping and improves your sleep quality. Where was that when I needed it? For sleep issues in general, I saw a lot of interesting options. One was an AI-powered mattress by Darucci with 23 sleep and health AI sensors that automatically track changes in position, heart rate, and overall health. It features 18 flexible air support units that instantly respond and support the user's position and body movements. The built-in AI software uses algorithms, smart software and hardware adjustments, and the monitors while you're sleeping. So the mattress can connect to other IoT home appliances to control your bedroom's thermostat, air conditioner, aromatherapy, air purify, sleep-enhancing lighting, and other IoT devices. But frankly, I don't know if I want a mattress to know that much about me. It won high marks, though, for innovative design and ergonomics. I'm holding the wows just again. It seems a little too personal right now. So another thing is Earable, a neuroscience company invented the Friends Brain Band, which claims to be the world's first AI-powered wearable that can track and stimulate brain activities in real time using personalized audio therapy for providing better sleep. It works with an accompanying app that tracks the information. It's won quite a few awards, and I looked it up. You can buy it on Amazon for just over $500. When I also looked it up, there also seemed to be a lot of other devices along that same line, although not as well respected as this particular company seems to be, and they also have data to back up their claims. But I gotta say, when I was a teenager, I couldn't even wear my headgear at night for braces while I slept. So I don't know if wearing something about my head would be great, but if you are experiencing sleep disorders, like many of my friends and family are, they'll try anything, so maybe it's worth a try. So I didn't forget about our pets. I found several things of interest. As a cat owner, of course I needed to look at the robotic litter box. And one by Nicasa was there, and I got a little demo on the film, and she did a demo in real time. And it seems great. The two initial issues I had, though, was the cost to buy it, which is about $499, and I was also afraid that my cat might be afraid of it and not want to use it after I spent all that money. But it's very nice for, a younger cat that you can train. In that same display, they had some other pet care products for grooming, and those were very reasonably priced. They had a demo. I got a demo of a brush vacuum device that brushes very quietly, had very little noise, and then that same device had components for full grooming care, clipping, nails, the whole bit. So that was interesting. Gets a wow. Another thing I saw that was great for everybody with a dog, Mini Tails Collar by Invoxia. It's a device that attaches to a regular collar. It received an award also for Best Innovation in AI category for pets, and it allows you to monitor your pet's heart health, position, activity, appetite, behavior, and whereabouts using a GPS tracker and an app. This device was around $100, so very affordable. And what would be a visit to CES without seeing some of the fun tech and useful tech items, with a warning that some of these are way too pricey for most of us. One thing that's very cool, and at some point in the future, is Apple Vision's Pro Apple, a mixed reality headset that they just brought out. Reports suggest that it had taken more than 200,000 pre-orders for this mixed reality device as of February, and analysts say that it's going to have sales of potentially 600,000 units this year. However, priced at $3,499, it isn't going to be on my list of purchases, but hey, Apple, if you want to send me a free one to try out, we'll review it on Let's Talk Tech. I also saw this thing from Perfecta, which says they make grilling simple and perfect. It's by Sear Grills. It says you can cook flavor succulent food in 3 minutes, and it uses automatic AI cooking that cooks 10 times faster. You tell it how you want your steak cooked, in a few minutes it comes out perfectly cooked and ready for you to enjoy. I'm not giving it a wow yet because it looks expensive and very difficult to clean. And I think it's probably more complicated for just the average person to use. Well, beam me up, Scotty. Proto Hologram brings the future to the now. I had a great time here as shown on my video. I needed some music for my dance though, but truly fun. According to Proto, holographic display is the future of human communication. It states that presence is not something that is simply streamed, it's something that is felt, and they take digital communication to the next level for sure. Proto is the world's first and only holographic communications platform with its own hardware, software, and app ecosystem. The company is growing very quickly, and they also won this year's SXSW, which is a show, Innovation Award for connecting people. And they're about to receive their first patent on their approach to creating and displaying holographic content. So they are known today for the Epic life-size hologram device, which is so realistic, it seems like there is a person or object inside the 7-foot-tall machine like you see, but they've also come with a smaller home model. A university in the UK is the first school to use Proto hologram technology to enhance its students' in-classroom experience and also for remote and virtual learners. So I can see a big application in education for this, but it's pricey. The live subject can be beamed in real time from any camera on any mobile phone to any Proto device in the world. I really, again, from an educator perspective, that's really where the application can be. But I think about this like FaceTime when we first launched, and now video calls are no big deal. So someday, the hologram may be just like a FaceTime call. I also spent some time in the Google area, which was multiple small buildings, and I went on a tour through each of them. The things that stood out most to me was the Google Map travel update, which integrates AI, and updates to their AI tool called Bard, which not only generates and answers your questions and prompts, but gives you actual references and tells you that whether it's random internet stuff that's unverified. So that's very cool. I also went to see some of the energy tech at CES. The focus is on practical and eco-friendly innovations. Electric cars are a big deal with longer battery life and better ways to charge them. Volkswagen is set to integrate OpenAI's AI, which is ChatGPT, into its vehicles starting in the second quarter of 2024. There's also talk about portable home batteries, which means we might be moving towards more self-sufficient and greener energy solutions. There are many electric mobility options too, like this one from Honda. The Moto Compacto is a personal mobility device. And according to Honda, the pedalless body folds into durable, compact shape that lets it fit into small spaces and is easy to take around with you.
It's an EV mobility device, and it could get you to point A to B if you wanted it to. I'm going to give this a wow, but I think it's great for those who are more ambulatory, but just want to get a quick and easy way to zip around their neighborhood. Then I went to the exhibition by SK, which featured a full-on carnival atmosphere and flying cars, which gets 3 wows or more for sure. It was an amazing display of world-leading artificial intelligence and carbon reduction technologies under an amusement park concept called the SK Wonderland. The Magic Carpet ride in a flying vehicle embedded with AI that helps navigate dense urban areas, reducing pollution, congestion, commuting, and frustrations was astonishing. Wow. So the experience of attending CES and plunging into a sea of innovation is nothing short of awe-inspiring for me. It was an incredible experience. The boundless creativity within the tech industry underscores the commitment to addressing the diverse needs of society. One particularly noteworthy theme that emerged from this year's event is the remarkable progress in age tech. The emphasis on age tech not only reflects a growing awareness of the unique challenges faced by older adults, but also highlights the power of technology in creating these inclusive solutions. I can't wait to go next year and spend a lot more time there. Thank you for joining me on Let's Talk Tech today. Next month, we're going to go back to some basics and talk about streaming, internet speed, and speak to Paul Ortiz about the future of our internet and broadband here in our village. The future is knocking, and we need to answer. The internet connectivity that we just assume will be there is actually a great amenity to our community. So remember, be kind when posting online and make it a great day.